Howdy y'all and welcome back. Gun store etiquette. I wish this was a happier video to make, and I wish it was like more straightforward, but it just isn't. Because every gun store has their own little quirks and idiosyncrasies, and I have very rarely come across a genuinely helpful, happy clerk at a gun store. Maybe it's just me, but so you're in the store, you're looking at the guns, and you land on the one you want to look at, and you ask for some help. And what's the first thing that they're going to do? They should take the gun out of the counter and immediately check it, clear and safe, and then hand it to you, hopefully muzzle down. But I've been handed guns in every, you just never know. All I can do is control my end of things, and so I'm going to immediately take it and go muzzle down with it, and then immediately get that slide back, check it out myself. Now, they might remove the magazine before they hand it to you. They might hand it to you locked back like this. Again, there's no exact way. We never know. So it doesn't matter. On my end, the first thing I'm going to do, keeping my finger well off of the trigger, is I'm going to lock that slide back. And yes, we are clear and safe. I'm going to check out that magazine. Yes, it is clear and empty. And then I'm going to go ahead, put the magazine back in, lower the slide. Next, I want to get that. How does it feel in the hand, right? Resist the temptation to start muzzling everything in the store, all right? You can get a sense of how it feels in your hand with the muzzle down, just like this. Finger off the trigger. Okay, that's how it feels in the hand, right? The sights, again, people have this, I just need to see what they look like. I got to see what, you can see what the sights look like with the muzzle down. It's not a big deal. The trigger, ask before you start dry firing someone else's gun. Hey, is it all right if I check out the trigger? Generally, they're going to say, sure, go ahead. Because it's not their gun, right? So, all right, so I've, okay, interesting. Okay, maybe a third one if I'm really just not getting a sense of, okay, that's it. No more than 3 for me. Even that third one's kind of pushing it. This is like hopping in a friend's car and doing a burnout, right? It's not your gun yet, so don't obnoxiously sit there and just run the trigger. That's annoying. So I feel it in my hand. I check out the sights. I check out the trigger. It's about it, right? I like to do this with the magazine in. Of course, I have checked it first. And then when I'm ready to hand it back, I like to lock the slide open. If you're brand new to guns, when a magazine is empty, you don't even have to operate the slide lever right there. If you just pull the slide back, push the frame forward at the same time, with an empty magazine, it's going to lock the slide back, and I'm going to hand it back to them like this. All right? So long guns. This one can be a little trickier. So generally, I don't think I've ever had a clerk hand me a long gun in any other way than this, muzzle up, right? So, same thing, they should clear and safe it first, but I'm going to want to clear and safe it as soon as they hand it to me. So in this case, I would do something like that. Yes, we are clear and safe. And then I'm just going to ask, what direction do you prefer I point this in? Is there a direction? Some stores will have a designated target on the wall or a mounted head of some sort. And they're like, yeah, point at that. Others won't. So same deal. I'm going to try to find the safest direction with no human beings. And I'm going to get it muzzle down. And I'm going to do the same thing like I did with the handgun. Check out the sights, check out the feel. Maybe run the action or what, if it's a bolt action, you might do it that way. But I'm going to do all of this with the muzzle down. Now, I have heard fairly recently, actually, read an account of a gun store clerk chewing someone out because they were doing exactly this. They were checking out the gun muzzle down, and they were like, don't point the muzzle at the ground. So again, like, there's no straightforward, like, clear cut answer. This is one I would ask my regular viewers. Hit me up down in the comments. If you have better counsel to give, let us know. Like, throw it down there in the comments, because this one is tricky. Like, 3 different employees in the same store could all have completely different approaches to how they want you to behave. But the main thing is, do not muzzle sweep people in the store, especially the clerk, but even people that are way over there. It's like, oh, well, they're not going to see it. Don't do it. Like, it may be tricky to get a long gun from muzzle up to muzzle down in a crowded store. Like, you may have to wait a minute, let somebody move, or, like, it could be weird. You may need to just hang out with it like this and check it out the best you can like this until, okay, and then maybe I'm going to run it down like that. But you will freak people out. You know it's clear, the clerk knows it's clear, the person over there doesn't. And so you just want to avoid, hey, don't mind me, I'm just going to sweep everybody in the store, like, don't do it. It can be a little tricky, but hopefully you will get someone helping you who is kind and helpful, and they will say, yeah, just, over there is fine. You can just, and they'll be okay with you, maybe doing some of that at a designated space in the store. So, again, I wish this was like, I had a simpler answer to all this, but I just don't. But the main thing, don't muzzle people, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready, and ask before you dry fire. Those are the main 3. That's all I got for this one. Until next time, be easy, y'all.